It's the National Football League on EA Sports. And we'll be watching Terry McLaurin. He's been a production machine with a 1,200-yard season thus far. It's the Commanders and the Browns, and it comes your way next on EA Sports.
This building holds just north of 80,000, and they have come out in very good numbers today at FedEx Field in Landover, Maryland. Coming up, we've got what should prove to be a good one between the Cleveland Browns and the Washington Commanders. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And Charles, you talk about this Commanders team coming into play here today. They come in playing pretty well, 6-3 in their last 9 games. Meanwhile, for the Browns here, they've been as hot as anyone. The win last week makes it 9 out of 10.
The results are hard to argue. If there's a team better suited for the postseason right now, I don't know who they are.
Get strapped in. It's just about time to get the party started. And we are underway from FedEx Field. From the 6. Now a crease here as he's past the 30. And able to break this out all the way to the 38-yard line. Great return. So out comes the Washington offense onto the field. Bringing him out is the pride of North Dakota State. Now in his 7th NFL season, Carson Wentz.
I tell you what, when he's on schedule for that week, secondaries take notice because you've got to stay alert back there on every snap. A truly powerful arm, one that's capable of challenging any level of the defense on any given play. That's why so many scouts preach arm talent when preparing for the NFL draft. A quarterback with arm strength to make every throw in the book, he's an asset to have in any offense.
Wentz to throw on the first play from scrimmage. And Thomas has it. And he gets this one to midfield before he's brought down. Just like that, it's a gain of 12 and a first down on their first play.
And what a nice example there of a tight end doing exactly what he needs to do. How about how he worked his way to the outside, made sure he secured the catch, and then anything after that, we count that as a bonus. And indeed, he gets enough for the first down.
He'll dump that off to Gibson, complete. So the completion gets him just a yard, and that will bring up second down. But Charles, as we've covered, they've already clinched their spot in the postseason, so now they just want to avoid adding any additional names to this list before the postseason begins.
Terrific observation, because trying to move up a spot, I don't know if it's worth it if you're trying to play guys who aren't quite right. Get them healthy, get ready for the playoffs, make your move then.
They'll run for the first time with Antonio Gibson. Slipped one tackle, but no more as he's knocked to the deck behind the line of scrimmage. It's a loss of a yard, so it's back to 3rd and 10. Now, right where this set of downs started, they need a full 10 here to pick up the first down and move the chains. And this is caught, but I don't think he stayed in bounds. No, he didn't. It's incomplete. The throw took him past the boundary, and it's 4th.
Well, I'm quite sure that they envisioned a much better start to this game when they practiced all week. But they failed on that 3rd down play. That brings up 4th down, and they'll probably have to punt it away.
And this kick is not going to be close. It's well short, well right to boot, and this will remain a scoreless game.
Partner, doesn't seem like it, but that's a tough spot for a kicker. First drive of the game, and they're calling on it. He should be warmed up. He should be into the game, but sometimes it's almost like, oh, what, now already? Can't they put it in the end zone? What's going on here?
Yeah, he's probably saying, if he can't get it in the end zone, can you give me a 30, 40-yarder? But a long one, and he can't connect. So the long field goal misses, and now the reverse. You're in a tough spot defensively. They'll start the drive at the 43. Rolling to his left. Oh, he's going to take a shot right away. And incomplete on the deep ball.
There is something to a game plan with trying to keep a defense honest. With a guy with that type of speed, you do so. Send him deep. Try and throw some air under it and hope you connect downfield. On that play, they run successful. But so far in this drive, they've done some good work. They force incompletions on first and second down, bring up 3rd and 10. That brings up the big question. Do they bring pressure or do they play coverage on this down?
And this is caught. Touchdown, Cleveland. Hard to believe that arm strength was a knock on Deshaun Watson coming out of Clemson, but he showed what he's got there.
And you'd think on 3rd down, they'd just be looking for something right beyond the sticks. And I think they caught the defense flat-footed as a result because they decided they were going to take a shot right there, and it ended up being a big play.
And that throw traveling an even 64 yards in the air. Now Cade York for the extra point. It's up and through to make it 7-0 Browns. Scoring summary, 3-play drive. And it's Amari Cooper who finishes it off with a touchdown reception. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This one taken just inside the 10. And he'll go down as this drive will start at the 25-yard line. Now Washington going to retake the field for drive number 2. As we grind toward the end of the season here, and they haven't had the season that they had hoped. So let me ask you to play GM. Where might they look to make some changes?
I think when you look into the upcoming draft, think hard about them drafting multiple offensive linemen. They've got to get stouter up front. And as a GM, it always tells me, Charles, this is a big boy league, and big people always end up winning games for you.
Throwing on first is Wentz. To the sideline, and that is a heck of a catch as he was able to get both feet in. A really nice gain of 25 yards.
Let's make this one simple. What a catch, especially the finishing part of getting his feet in bounds, toe tapping, and of course, foot dragging.
Little tapestry, if you will.
Oh, I like it.
Here we go. On 1st and 10, it's Gibson. And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. 2nd down. The numbers on the ground for Gibson a week ago. 15 carries, 62 yards.
And when he went over 1,000 yards last week, you know what it did for their offense? It gave them a true identity because everyone's going to talk about this. The offensive line's going to take pride in it. Of course, the guy carrying the football will. But how about the coaching staff? When they go in and talk contracts, when they talk to reporters, hey, we had a 1,000-yard rusher this year. That means something in today's NFL.
On 2nd down, here's Gibson again. A 1-yard gain there following the 3-yard pickup on 1st down. Well, this defense for the Browns, they were very good last week in the win over New Orleans.
And while you can't actually see confidence rising in a unit, you feel like you can.
And down he goes. They bring down Wentz on the sack. In for the sack, Myles Garrett. He found his way into the backfield, and he simply would not be denied.
Well, they say that life's all about opportunities, and that holds true when you're playing defense as well. How about him seeing that chance, making the most of it, did a great job of wrapping him up and bringing him down.
Tress Way on 4th down is sent out to punt. He gets us away. It's a good one. Drawing toward the sidelines. No returning this one. It sails out of bounds, and they'll spot it right at the 20. The Browns offense heading out as we take a look at the playoff picture in the AFC. And for them, it's no longer a question of will they make the playoffs. They've clinched the division title. The question, can they hold on to that #1 seed?
And this is where the mental fortitude comes to play, doesn't it? Because now you're not just the coach talking about it, it's team talking about it to each other, supporting each other, carrying each other along, because having that #1 seed means everything in the NFL.
It does. So even though the division title's clinched, shouldn't take the foot off the gas.
No, not at all. Play it all the way through, and I think we've seen that in recent years in the NFL. The teams that play and play to win each and every game, they're the ones to deal with in the playoffs.
He is taken down at the 21 after a short gain of 2.
Well, that's a good start to this drive on the defensive side of the ball.
Force the incompletion on 1st down, and you're able to shut down the running play on 2nd.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised now. A little bit of pressure going into the quarterback in an expected passing situation.
An extra man here in the secondary for Washington on 3rd down. Back to throw, Watson. That's into the hands of Donovan Peoples-Jones. And they work this well upfield across the 45. Call that a very strong gain of 24. After one, 7-0 on EA Sports. The start of the 2nd quarter, and it's the Browns in control of the football as they've got it with a 1st and 10. Here's Watson. And he cannot avoid the pressure as the Washington pass rush gets home. Daron Payne racking up sack number 12 for him on the year. Got to assume this defense will be charging again here. It's 2nd and 15. Another try after the 1st down sack. Watson. And now look at this. Big gain, but a fumble. And they are going to set up shop at the 40-yard line.
Thank goodness for heaters up here. And thank goodness I don't have to carry the football in this game. It's January. It's cold out there. Trying to clutch the football and absorb the hits, not easily done.
Yeah, we saw a product of the elements right there. The Washington offense set to take over. Defense got the better of them last series, forcing a punt. See if they make a few changes in the game plan here and try to get points out of this drive. 1st and 10. And he's going to be brought down here in the backfield. Grant Delpit just would not be denied. That's a loss of 7. These strong safeties, some people may not realize it. It's really like an extra linebacker, right?
It really is, because they're hybrids. Half linebacker, half defensive back. The linebacker in him on that play emerged.
Don't need it all back at once, but you figure they're going to need something here. 17 yards to go on 2nd down. And now the Browns are going to take another timeout. That's their 2nd, so they'll have 1 remaining here in this 2nd quarter. We'll be right back. A give to Gibson running. Gibson gets hit and he fumbles it. And this is picked up by the Browns. And he's into the end zone. It's a fumble return for a Browns TD. Huge, huge play by the defense, not only to force the fumble, obviously, but to return it for a touchdown.
And I know it's no fun for anyone who plays offense, but isn't it fun to see how a defense rallies when there's a fumble return and everyone tries to find someone to block and bring it all the way home?
I always like their celebrations because they don't get there that often.
No, they're not choreographed very well usually.
The York on now for the extra point. And it's good to make it 14-0. So not only the cough up, but then the pickup on the other side, the scoop, and the score the other way. The fumble return for a touchdown. And you can bet they're preaching two hands on the ball here as the kick's away following that fumble return. Johnson won't return this, and the football will come out to the 25. Here comes Antonio Gibson as he's set for another drive. Looking for a bounce back. Had the fumble a moment ago that went for a touchdown the other direction. See if he can get back in rhythm.
And you have to be very careful about having too quick of a hook with really good players. I did a guy's game in high school where he fumbled 3 times in the first quarter, finished with over 300 yards on the night, later ended up in the NFL. If you've got a talented back, give it back to him.
And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26.
Well, sometimes you just have to give credit to the defense. Great job there at the point of attack, holding up. They won their battles at the line of scrimmage, left them no space to try and run. A really nice job swarming to the ball carrier.
And the running lane's non-existent in this first half as they'll stop him behind the line. It's a loss of a yard, so it's back to 3rd and 10.
The running lanes have definitely not been there for him here in the first half, and I don't think it's all been his fault. His offensive line hasn't given him much space. A loss results there.
Here we go.
Now Wentz on 3rd down. And that is incomplete.
He's second in the NFL in interceptions, and you understand why. He plays a game of great intelligence, understands positioning, and has a great ability to break on the football when it's in the air.
So fun to watch his closing speed, and another example of it on that play. It'll be a 40-yard punt, 8 on the return, and the Browns will take over 1st and 10. Heading out as the Cleveland offense now as they get set to take over here. It's been a good first half so far. They're up 14-0. Points here, they could really put them in command before intermission.
Yeah, and it's all well and good what they're seeing and how they're feeling right now. But this is the NFL. How many times have we watched 14-0 leads evaporate and quickly? So how have we seen them combat it? Continue to run your offense, but don't back off at all. Don't start looking at the clock. Don't start thinking about, hey, just take care of the football. Keep attacking. Usually the best way to maintain control. When they've needed a play this year, he's certainly been the guy to deliver it. As this season has gone on, he's been awfully consistent and sometimes spectacular.
So now then, the big play has him all the way inside the 30 now, 1st and 10. A shotgun snap for Watson. Throw left side, caught by the tight end Njoku. And he'll be tackled at the 23 after a gain of 3. 2 minutes to play, first half. It's 14-0. Throwing again on 2nd down. Watson over the middle. Amari Cooper. It's complete. And he'll be taken down at about the 22-yard line. In need of a conversion on 3rd down. They had the big play to start the drive. Not much sense. Throwing there, but this pass is going to wind up incomplete. Well, the other day they told us when we've got 3rd and 5 or less, we have to be able to convert. And I guess every team would say that, Charles, but an opportunity missed there.
What they were trying to tell us is they believe it's a matchup game at that point, and they liked some matchups that they had, thought they could exploit them, unable to do so on that play.
Some collective exhales over there on the sideline. A big pickup through the air on 4th down to bring up 1st and goal. Creeping up on a minute to play in this first half. Touchdown! Kareem Hunt, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Browns will extend their lead in the final minute of the half. There was no going through the progressions on that touchdown pass.
Yeah, nor was it necessary. His receiver won that route early, presented himself. No reason to wait. Go ahead and put it on him and score a touchdown.
York now for the extra point. And it is now 21-0. That time a 6-play drive. And it ends with a touchdown for Cleveland. out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And here comes Danny Johnson now from his end zone. And he's able to get this across the 20, but not by much as he's marked down officially at the 21. The Commanders back out late in this first half. Charles, you're down multiple scores, less than a minute left here, but with that deficit, they've got to try to at least work their way into field goal range to try to muster something out of this drive.
And I'm going to go ahead and date myself one more time because I'm going to quote an old Smokey and the Bandit lyric. They've got a long way to go and a short time to get there, but they still have time to get it done. So I'm looking forward to watching them mount this drive and see if they can get some points out of it.
To throw on 2nd and 10, Wentz. This one complete to Curtis Samuel. And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. And Washington now going to use the first of their 3 timeouts as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. Wentz now on 1st down. He gets it to Thomas. And they get to him after a gain of 6 to the 46. Now another timeout called for by the offense as it'll come with 36 ticks to go in half number 1.
Here we go, here we go.
Now Wentz again. This is brought in by Gibson. And he's got this down to the 35. 19 yards there on the catch and run.
And I like the idea here. Get the ball in his hands, even if it's in the passing game. 3 catches a week ago, and he does a nice job here to pick up yardage.
Now a timeout signaled for, and they'll get it with 10 seconds to go before halftime. So even though it's 1st down, here's the field goal unit on now to try to get 3 before halftime. From the left hash, this will be a 52-yard attempt. And he missed it. It's no good.
Always disappointing when you miss a field goal, but when you're playing against a defense this good, you and I both know that's a crucial miss because you can't afford to leave any points out there. You've got to take them when you can.
The Browns drive about to get started. And maybe a chance for a quick completion and then a long field goal try. We'll see. Letting one fly deep for Cooper. And that is incomplete. So we've come upon halftime here in Week 17 as we'll get you down the coast to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
All right, Brandon, thanks very much. Happy New Year, everybody. Welcome into our EA Sports Halftime Report. It's a busy Week 17 of the regular season, so let's get right to it. We'll begin with as good a rivalry as there's been the last decade or so. Baltimore playing host to their AFC North rivals, Pittsburgh. And it's the Ravens who have the lead in that one. 2 touchdown passes there for Lamar Jackson. From there, we head down south to Atlanta. Check on the Falcons at home at Mercedes-Benz Stadium. And they've got the lead over the visiting Arizona Cardinals. Marcus Mariota has thrown a touchdown pass. Lastly, let's motor up to the Motor City. See what's happening with the Lions at home at Ford Field. And they trail the visiting Chicago Bears. A couple of touchdown strikes there from Justin Fields. On now to a look at the next-gen stats in that first half for the Browns. And their offense has been in top form so far, especially their passing game, as it's helped push them out to this big halftime lead. Meanwhile, for Washington, they did not have quite the same amount of success in the passing game that their counterparts did, as you get a look at the numbers there. Both teams currently making their final adjustments. We're getting ready for the second half. So we'll send it back up to FedEx Field and hand things back over to Brandon Gott.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. The final 2 quarters of the NFL regular season are upon us as the second half of Week 17 is underway. This will be fielded inside the 5. Oh, a good return up past the 30. And able to break this out all the way to the 38-yard line. Great return. And as this offense makes their way back out, it's AFC playoff race time as we give you a look. And with the final fortnight of games upon us, teams jockeying for position. Some of these games really starting to take enormous importance as they always do this time of year.
I like how you use fortnight.
Yeah, you're impressed, aren't
Yeah,
you?
I am impressed. That
Thank
means
you.
2 weeks, if I'm not mistaken.
Does. That does.
But how about exactly what you're talking about? Going down the stretch, how much importance is placed on these games. Look, everyone talks about every game's important. When you get to this time of year, maybe that importance gets quadrupled. And that's where we are right now to see who can make their last run, their last push to get into the playoffs.
Second down, here's Chubb again. And some room to work. There he goes, right side. And all the way in. Touchdown, Cleveland.
Well, I guess when you look back on it, it was just a matter of time until he popped a big one like that. And, you know, at halftime, you and I discussed it. They had done a nice job on him in the first half. But there were a couple of occasions where it felt like he might wiggle out of traffic and take it to the house. Finally here in the second half, that got done.
The York on now for the extra point. It's good, and they stretch their lead to 28-0 now. So 2 plays on that scoring drive. That's how they drew it up. And the long run into the end zone, and what a run it was. The Browns kicking team out there now as they'll send this one away. Johnson won't return this, and the football will come out to the 25. First chance for the Commanders' offense now as they head out for their opening series of the second half. A CD, they certainly know the hole that they face as they begin the second half. They have to do what precious few teams have done in NFL history. That's try to come back from a 4-possession deficit.
And, partner, you know, as that team gathers, they're saying to each other, you never say never, right? Because if you're on an NFL roster, that's how you have to think. You can always come back and win a ball game. And let's face it, we saw a certain Super Bowl, a 25-point lead late, that wasn't enough to put someone away. But that being said, this task is near impossible. Let's face it. And bottom line is, it officially becomes impossible if this possession is an empty one.
It's just a gain of a couple there on the scramble, and now it's third down.
Oh, partner, just a second earlier, and they might have had him because they certainly thought they were going to close in and drop him behind the line of scrimmage, but he had just enough time to dodge the pressure, and he ends up getting yardage before being stopped.
Wentz. This one left side caught by Gibson. And he's going to be stopped here a few yards short of the first as the tackle is made at the 33. Give him a gain of 5 on the completion, and that'll bring up fourth down.
So much about offense is what you call hidden yardage. You know, you throw the ball to someone, they catch it, and then they can make a big play. You know, they create a play, run after catch. They did a really nice job there of limiting that and keeping him from a first down.
Yeah, stopped him in his tracks. Here's Williams to return. It'll be 37 yards there on the punt, and out will come the offense as they take over. And now the Browns coming out on the field. The offense running out, and they are charged up, ready to go after reaching the end zone on their last drive.
And normally I'd warn against getting complacent just because they scored the last time out. But I don't think there's any worries with this group right now. This is a hungry group, and they want to keep building off of their last drive. Now they just want the officials to hurry up and place the ball so they can snap it and get back to work.
Second down, here's Chubb again. And he'll get it out a couple yards shy of midfield at the 48. 77 yards for him on the ground now as he has been terrific here this afternoon.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time and making it work.
On first down, they'll run with Chubb. And that'll hurt the average a bit as this time they're able to get him behind the line. Jamin Davis, the one to get up from his linebacker spot and make that play.
Brandon, at some point, these defenders absolutely have to say, we've just got to make a stand. We've had enough of this.
Giving up a lot of points in this game, but looked better on that play. Now on 2nd and 13, Watson. And that's going to be caught by Peoples-Jones. And they're going to have another first down here as the tackle's made at Washington's 33. A good pickup there, a 22.
I'll tell you what, a lot of those mid-range throws have been available because sometimes teams get too concerned about the deep ball and they leave too much space in front of them. And these guys have been taking advantage so far.
And Chubb will try the middle here. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up. The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. And again, it's Chubb. And he's going to be stopped close to the first down marker at Washington's 12-yard line. 24. So they'll get a little extra time to come up with his 3rd down play as we've played 3 quarters. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. The Browns on 3rd down. They've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. They need just a yard here. It's 3rd and 1. They'll try to run for the first down with Hunt. And he'll take it down here just shy of the 15 at the 16-yard line. It's an 8-yard pickup and leads to a new set of downs.
Brandon, when a defense just simply can't get off the field on 3rd down, and we all know how important that down is for both sides of the ball, you often feel like you're just a step behind whatever they're doing offensively.
And one of the differences in this game, no doubt, 3rd down conversion, and that is going to be a story they'll talk about after this one. And they work this near the 5. He'll be stopped at the 6. It's a 10-yard gain there, and it sets him up now 1st and goal.
Well, that's a carry they have to be satisfied with, and throughout this game, they've been satisfied with what he's given them. Whenever they've needed a big run, a first down, he's the guy they've turned to. And it doesn't matter what the defense thinks. They feel like they've got the confidence to keep handing it to him and keep picking up good yardage.
They'll run with Chubb. And this carry not as productive. He's swallowed up at the line of scrimmage. They come up here with another shot from the 6-yard line, and it's 2nd and goal now. Now Chubb running right, and a minuscule gain of maybe a yard from the 6 to the 5.
I have to laugh a little bit because he actually handed it off. I thought with the 2 touchdown passes he's thrown in this one already, he'd go ahead and fling and try and get a 3rd one.
Yeah, now from this spot on 3rd, and they are going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals. Another touchdown here in the 4th quarter, and Charles, I think we can start to consider that this undefeated streak of theirs is going to be safe for another week.
And partner, you don't make it this far into a season without a loss unless you're getting contributions from both sides of the ball, and sometimes even your special teams, and that's been true today. Each side helping guide them to this late lead.
York now for the extra point. Oh, I was just about to say he hadn't missed an extra point all season, but there it is. His first miss, no good. The Browns kicking team out there now as they'll send this one away. And they'll let that one go as it skips through the back of the end zone for a touchback. Now this offense back out and set to go for their next drive. And their 4-game win streak very much in jeopardy as they go to work here late with a 1st and 10. Throwing now is Wentz. And that is caught on the right sideline, but out of bounds, says the line judge. The throw took him a little too far. It's 2nd down.
Here we go, here we go.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. Wentz. And he'll slide to a halt here, still a little shy of the first down marker. He turned that into a nice gain, gets him 8 yards closer for 3rd down.
I like how he hung in there and went through his progressions, but eventually his internal clock went off and told him it was time to make a run for it, and he ends up sliding down with a solid gain.
And he finds McLaurin, and they bring him to the ground just shy of midfield. Second catch for him today, and it'll wind up a first down. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So it's Washington with the football here as we welcome you back. They've got a 1st and 10 as they search for a late score. Wentz now on first down. And that is caught on the right sideline, but out of bounds, says the line judge. The throw took him a little, and now it appears that the referee's been buzzed, and we'll get a review. And this being inside 2 minutes of play, everything coming from up above. Did he keep those feet in bounds? That's the question they've got to decide. And I got to say, watching it in real time, it was awfully close.
Yeah, it certainly looked like a heck of a catch because he didn't appear to bobble it, which could complicate things. But even with the benefit of replay, that's pretty tight.
Well, here's the call.
After review of the play, the ruling on the field.
So the officials and the folks in New York got a second look at this one, and the call is going to be overturned. From just shy of midfield, Wentz. Throw right side, taken in by Gibson. And they'll get this down to the 42-yard line. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
And he'll go out of bounds after taking it a little further down inside the 40. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Working from the gun, Wentz. Oh, he rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted. Picked up by Denzel Ward. And the Browns are going to take over here on the INT at their own 5-yard line. The utter domination here just continues. This defense, I don't know what more we can say all around about their performance.
Well, it certainly feels in this game like maybe they're facing a Canadian defense. 12 guys on the field. It feels like there's an extra on every snap because they have really struggled to make headway through the air.
The Browns set to take over. They've got to be feeling very comfortable and confident here with this lead in the football here in the fourth quarter, Charles. And I don't think that they need to score again, but it seems like this offense is just getting better as the game goes on. They've scored on their last 2 drives.
Certainly feels like a chance for them to continue to have some fun out there, doesn't it? Game's already decided, as you noted, so they can continue to play loose, break out some other concepts, maybe run a few trick plays, get other people involved. Heck, even go deep on one of these first snaps just because they can.
Absolutely nobody fooled there. He's going nowhere fast as he stopped behind the line of scrimmage. It'll go as a loss of a yard, so now they deal with 3rd and 11. Backed up here, tough spot, needing 11 yards to pick up the first. On 3rd down, it's Nick Chubb. And he's able to get this one up to the 8-yard line this time. Call it a gain of 4, and it'll bring up 4th down. So not just a blowout win for them today, Charles, but a shutout blowout win as well. Clearly just a superior effort on both sides of the ball.
Hey, didn't it feel like you get a touchdown, you get a touchdown, and then the defense jumped up and said, hold it, we're getting involved as well. You're exactly right. Big points, both sides contributing, a full team win.
So for the Browns, it won't quite be a perfect season, but they move closer to an undefeated season as they get to 15-0-1 with 1 game to go.